Welcome to part 8 of building this groovy Jaguar. Today we'll be looking at finishing off the floor repairs, fucking up a few other repairs, and having a good time. So please come with us on this groovy journey on fixing a Jaguar 420G. What we did on the Jaguar is we fixed the floor pans, and the floor pans look really groovy. As you can see, it is repaired. How cool is that? It's a bit dusty now because I was cleaning other things. The pillar's repaired. The knee knocker is repaired. I call it a knee knocker because when you're entering the car, it like hits your knees. It's much more exaggerated on like 50s cars because they came out like here, but it's fastigial on a Jaguar. As you can see, it's looking pretty tidy. So instead of working on that, we're going to be working on something else while we are. Well, we need to move on. We need to make progress, and that's progress. I've sort of cut out the floors. Lots of holes cut out of the floor. This side's a lot worse. It's not as sprawling, the rust repairs. It's similar to what I had to do on that side, but it's not as sprawling. It's more concentrated. So the rust that's here is worse. But same sort of similar repairs. It's no real big deal. Same as what we were doing before. I painted up that access point on the shifter. Just got to put that back in. We got to fix that rust. Ugh. But that'll be coming up. That's not what we're doing in this episode. What we're doing in this episode instead is explaining what I did wrong. So with the repairs on this car, what I did by accident was trying to fix a radiator. And I'll go through the process of how I fixed a radiator, quote unquote, without knowing that I'll break it. So you're going to get on the perspective that I fuck it. I do fuck it. So don't expect that. Don't expect a repair, because I tried lead filling the radiator cores and boom, wiped out a hole in it. Look, it had a hole in it before. I just made it a bit larger. So it's definitely can't be used. I could get a record. I was very upset when going through that process. I'm not going to get a record. Too expensive. So what I'll do instead is I see radiators for a GQ Patrol TD42 engine. Is the same rough dimensions as this, a little bit taller, a little bit wider. Same 1, 2, and 3 ports. The same cross flow radiator design where the radiator tank is on either side of the radiator. Looked like a good fix. I went to Pull It today to look at a few cars and models, and I saw a really close one on a Jeep Grand Cherokee, or like a 90s Jeep. I don't know what sort of Jeep it was. It was a Jeep, and it had the AMC 4-liter in it, and it had a radiator similar to this. However, when I went to measure it up, we didn't have measuring tape, so we just cut like a cord to lengths. And so to measure it up, we cut this cord to length of what the radiator is, and you can see it sticks out a little bit too far, just a little bit, which might fit on its own, honestly. That, you know, there's a lot of space in the engine bay. However, what the real killer is the fact that the radiator is, yeah, it's a bit short. And I'm a bit worried about being able to bleed the radiator completely. You know, bleed the cooling system completely throughout the engine with a radiator that falls about 4 inches short. So I'm a bit touch and go about the Jeep radiator, but the GQ Patrol one, if I can find one of those, I'll be able to fit that into the Jaguar and it will have a really good cooling system. one that doesn't leak, which is basically the issue here. So yeah, that's where we're at. So enjoy my bad repair processes. G'day. We've got a thermostat housing in this car, which is really cool. We'll look over that in a second. But for now, it's installed, and I want to fill it up with some water because I want to actually see the cooling system actually filled up for the first time. So I got a thing of water, no coolant because it's an untested system, so you don't want to waste just coolant. But for now, just water straight from the tap into the engine. Boom. Water in a van. This way I'll be able to see for any leaks as well, so it works. Fuck, it is leaking. Shit. Where's that leaking from? Oh, fuck's sake, it's leaking from the faucet as well. This ain't good. So if we follow the water passage down into the radiator, I could show you that it's leaking. So lower this down a bit, get to the front of the car, and you can see, yes, it's leaking. Quite substantially actually. It's not coming from the crossover pipe or the intermediary pipe that I thought it was going to come under, but it is coming from this front section here, which is only in contact with the radiator. So that's no good, isn't it? And because I'm still proud of it, I got the rebuilt thermostat housing in, new 180° Fahrenheit thermostat in there as well, and this pipe was blocked off, so I just put it back on, you know, because I don't actually know where it goes, so I'll have to look at the schematics and hook that up properly. But yeah, it all bolted on. I replaced the studs with bolts, and the bolts are really good. They're 5/16 UNC bolts with 1/2-inch heads, so I'll be able to use the 1/2-inch spanner to tighten these down with, and yeah, it seems to be holding, or I don't know if it is holding because I haven't been able to fill the radiator up enough to get water to this high point here. So we'll see. We'll let the silicon set as well and stuff and junk. So that's all fixed, and the ignition wires just sit over that. It's a really good repair. And if we go into the wheel well, we can see some rust repairs, and yeah, that's sort of the outside of the sill there, and that's all the floorboards that I've been repairing. And yeah, it's ugly, but I haven't painted it yet either. I'm not going to scratch down these welds because they're just going to add strength to the area. I don't want to make this smooth at all. Again, a bit farm repairing like with that. So yeah, this is really strong, and the floor's really strong. And if we come back over to the interior of the car, we're coming up really well with welding. I've still got to finish it though, and I'll show you a quick trick that I use to know if I've finished welding. Is you put a light source underneath the floors, and if you see light through the welds, which is plainly obvious, that's where I've got to fill in welding to finish the job. So that's how I know when I'm done with stitch welding all these panels in. And yeah, it looks but in the meantime it looks really good. It's so I found the hole in the radiator, and it's right here. There's a nice square hole, a nice square punched into the cores here, and the water's just leaking out of there. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to straighten out those cores, find exactly where the water's seeping from, and see what sort of repairs I can do. I bought some plumber's solder, which is a 60% lead, 40% tin mixture. You can see all the markings on there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat up this patch here with a butane torch, and I'm going to melt this lead into that hole. Let's see here. So I've got, oh, this is bad for lighting, but you're going to have to deal. So how lazy is that? How lazy am I at this? Anyway, so butane torch, lighter to light it up, pliers, and some baling wire. So what I'm going to do with the baling wire first, I'm going to see if I can pick out the cores, make them nice and straight, because something heavy fell onto this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a hook on this baling wire. Probably a shallower hook. There we go. Brush that down, just like so. If I can sink this in, pull it out. Oh well. There's the remainder of the cores. They're just not very strong. Okay, we're just filling it up now. None of the holes are blocked off. I should be able to see it. Just like this as the cores are flowing down. I'm pretty sure I can see it. I mean, it's not like it's not obvious. I can probably see it. Let me bring you in closer. Hey, that came out not bad. Sort of. Look, it's not restoration quality, Jesus. Yeah, ow, okay. That really cooks the radiator. Oh my goodness gracious. Yeah, some days I think I'm a dumb cunt. No, I've got more confidence than that. I don't think I'm a dumb cunt. It's like dealing with water. It's like that much fluid. Jesus Christ. Melted really easily. I had doubts that the butane torch would do it, but you know, getting the heat rating up. But shit, that was really fucking didn't need much heat at all. Jesus. Oh shit. Okay. I can see the leak. Let me fix it again. Gotta stand it up again. Groovy. Oh, we'll let that cool again, see if I fucked it. No one said lead filling was going to be easy. They were right. The silence was deafening, you know. As Clive Palmer once said. I think he said that. Or that might just be a journalist cope. When they have nothing to say about someone saying nothing and they go like, the silence is deafening. It's like, fuck you, man. Not everyone has an opinion. It's an ugly repair. But, as I say all the time, fuck it. I think I broke it. I think I did worse. I need a new radiator. Broke it. So I punched a hole in the radiator. Maybe it's a combination of being paro, me being blind, me being slightly inebriated. But I punched a hole in the radiator. I think too much heat with the butane torch. Just fucking melted the affected core, and there's a bigger hole in that radiator now that I cannot fix. Yeah, it could be worse. Anyway, stick around for the next part where, I don't know, we'll do some more welding, do some more wrenching,
who knows, man. So yeah, I'll see you around.